Hi there, namaste, and welcome back to another spiritualistic pick a card reading. Today I'm channeling a message to you from the Pleiades. So please take a deep breath, drawing the energy up your spine, creating a clear and open channel. And as you exhale, allow yourself to come into clear knowing which group or groups has your message in it for you today from the Pleiadians. We have group number 1 on the left with Precise as Metal, group number 2 in the center with Blessing Magnet, and group number 3 on the right with Akashic Records. As always, the timestamps to your readings are listed below in the description box, as well as information on my store, Etsy @Spiritualistic, where you will be able to find all of the decks used in today's reading, plus so many more. Personal channeling sessions, tarot and astrology readings, astrocartography readings, and Reiki sessions with me, as well as all of the books that I have published, crystal jewelry that I hand make, plus many other fun little spiritual goodies for you guys, handmade by me in order to assist you along the way. So thank you so very much for being here. I'm grateful for you, I love you, and I will see you at your reading. Namaste. Hi there, group 1. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today I'm channeling a message to you from the Pleiadians, and you selected the first group with the Precise as Metal card. The Pleiadians would like to welcome you into your new paradigm. Not the Earth's new paradigm, not the collective's new paradigm, not the new paradigm, your new paradigm. The Pleiadians would like to remind you of the first time you ever heard of them, or the first time that you ever connected with them. Group number 1, there is a little bit of an analogy coming forward, saying that the plant that bears the fruit is the one that comes to harvest. This is them wanting to remind you that you have so very much to offer, and you are also aware that you are very unique and absolutely one of a kind in every single way. The fruit that grows on your tree cannot be found on any other tree, not only because of the kind of tree and the kind of fruit, but also inherently because of individuality, of course. The Pleiadians would like to remind you that you have come a very far way on your spiritual journey, and that you are very well aware of the direction that you are headed. With this being the case, the Pleiadians want you to know that they support you in your endeavors, and not to worry about the small things, because as the card implies here, you are precise as metal. In your endeavors, in your spiritual gifts and abilities, and in your consciousness, your conscious belief systems. The Pleiadians would like to work through you and work with you at this time if you are open to this. And they also would like for you to know that they have another message to you, another message for you, that is similar to the very first one you ever received from them. Group number 1, the Pleiadians would like for you to feel welcomed in their arms, welcomed in their collective, and welcomed into a new magical spiritual paradigm. They would like to remind you that anchoring in unconditional love is always the correct answer, and that it is normal and natural to be proud of oneself, to be confident in oneself. Often humanity egoically encourages humbleness because it allows for a hierarchical power dynamic, one which the Pleiadians do not interact with, even though they themselves have a high council. Everything is objective and everything is rational, and they are rooted in unconditional love. The Pleiadians would like you to remember where you've been in this life and in others, and they would also like to remind you that you are very much well aware of what is authentic and what is fraudulent. The Pleiadians would like for you to continue to expand your third eye and allow you to hold the same compassion for others that you do with yourself, and also hold the same compassion for yourself that you do for others, depending on the nuance of your physical life. Remember that your third eye does not open one time. When it is fully open, it means that you are now ready to begin the next chapter, in which all of your chakras, all of your energy centers will continue to evolve, meaning that until you have reached max capacity of the evolution you are currently grown into, you can always open your third eye. And when you reach maximum capacity, this means it's time for a new evolution. So, Do continue to work on your third eye. And also, make sure not to be married to the concepts that you have seen through spiritual visions, as oftentimes this is a way for you to see and understand what it is that's being shown to you. It's usually not as literal as humans are led to believe. The Pleiadians would like to also remind you that yes, love and gratitude are important, but so is self-appreciation. You are coming into a chapter of your life where you are realizing how much you've been overlooked and how much you deserve to be treated better. When others have a problem that's not really a problem, it gets over-exaggerated and treated like the worst thing in the world. And when you have a problem that could be the worst thing in the world, you're also well aware of how those around you are so ready to abandon you, because it's not that big of a deal if you're the one dealing with it. Group number 1, you have healed and evolved through this. You do not receive this and you do not give it. However, remember that it is important that you are precisely confident in yourself. You are precisely proud of yourself. And just because sometimes you feel the need to cleanse your perspective so that you're making sure not to become over prideful or over humble, remember that it goes both ways. You are one to feel things very deeply, not simply emotionally, but spiritually as well. This is a gift of yours that you have incarnated with. You are very much aware of the fact that your journey is not like many of those others around you. And you're also very well aware of the fact that some of the karmas that you have or have not dealt with in this life are very different from those around you. With that being the case, continue not to compare yourself. You may notice that others are comparing themselves with you, and this might be your biggest difficulty recently. Allow yourself, group number 1, to remember that you are further ahead than you think, and do not compare with anything around you rather than yourself. The Pleiadians would like to remind you of the last lifetime you spent with them, or the last time that you connected with them. Remember the storm, remember the havoc, remember the chaos, and remember the calmness and the blessings that came through this. The Pleiadians would like to remind you that you are one that has a very strong energy, a very strong element flowing through your veins. And just as your blood is one of a kind and can be categorized into general groups, your blood is still one of a kind. And it is also precise as metal, as it does contain iron. Remember that if you would like to work with the metal element, you can always start with your blood, as this is actually a miracle of nature. The Pleiadians would not like to get too anatomical with you at this point in time, but they would like for you to remember the fact that metal is precise, metal is sharp, and also that which is non-moving can last a very long time. But remember, health means flexibility. Flexibility means health. So, while metal is a very profound element, even the metal that flows in your body is liquid. So, the Pleiadians would like you to continue to remember that you are built for the chaos of this world. You are built for the very things that you think are poisoning you. You are built to resist them. And I also have this moderately sized bag of hematite charging on my windowsill that they wanted me to show you. So perhaps hematite can be significant for you or helpful for you at this time. Group number 1, you know where you've been, you know where you are, and you know where you're going. Continue to be laser focused and continue to trust that you deserve love first. It is important that in order to see everyone as you give yourself love first. This is something where, while it's true that beautifying yourself on the outside, beautifying your life on the outside can make you feel good on the inside, this is a temporary fix. But doing the work on the inside will inevitably beautify the outside. This takes longer, but it is more permanent. So remember to give yourself love first, in the same vein. Your circulation is beautiful. Everything is as it should be, not just because we affirm this, but because it's already true. And the Pleiadians would like to remind you, group number 1, that you are one who thrives under the stars. You're one who thrives during the night under the moon. You're one who thrives in the winter. And just because you might be a different kind of creature, than what those around you are used to. Does not mean that you do not have your correct place. It simply means that if you are a nighttime being, when you are out at night, you will find those that resonate with you. If you are a lunar creature, when you align with the moon, you will find yourself syncing up with those who also do. If you like books in the library, you will meet people who like the library at the library. And we would also like to remind you that they are here connecting with you right now. So what does that say about you? Not them. You. The Pleiadians would like to remind you that your ego has been transcended so many times that it's time for your abundance. Do not be so prideful as to say no, and do not be so humble as to neglect what it is that you desire. You are aware that you have been putting in extra work than is required of you lately, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, because it is more important to you to lend a helping hand than it is for you to help yourself out. There is a time group number 1 where you come first. There is a time group number 1 where you receive the assistance that you need, not just spiritually, but in the physical reality. The Pleiadians have before shown themselves to you with your very eyes, and they will again. Expect a visitation from them soon in your dreams, your reality, your meditation. However it is you are open to receiving them is how they will show up. And never forget the beginning of your journey, because it is what got you to where you are. And with the larger cycles, there is something here that is about to repeat itself. However, this time, it will not break and shatter your reality. It will mend your reality and create more of a permanent fixture. You are ready for this next level of your journey. You are ready to treat yourself differently. And you are ready. You are ready to understand that you have already arrived where you were trying to arrive at. Your destination is right below your feet. There is no need to try to ascend any further. There is no need to try to ground any further. Everything is as it should be. And the greatest awakening for you right now is realizing that that is true. It always has been and always will be. So there is no need. There is no need for anything. You already have what you need. When you tell yourself what you want, this you can debate, you can change. When you tell yourself what you need, this can debate, this can change. But if you would like to align this with truth, see what is around you. See what is within you. Let it be simple. If you needed it, it would be there. And that's okay. If it doesn't look like what you wanted it to look like. It doesn't mean it won't. That doesn't mean it can't. It simply means that the universe is just as precise as you are. Okay, group number 1. That was your channeled message from the Pleiadians. If you're interested in a personal channeling session, you can find that on my store down in the description box, Etsy @spiritualistic. You can also find tarot readings, astrology, Reiki, books, journals, etc. Thank you so very much for being here. If you like, comment, and subscribe, it helps me out a lot. And if you would like to support me extra, you can sign up for my Patreon or my YouTube Inner Circle channel. Thank you so very much for being here with me. I love you, I'm grateful for you, and I will see you next time. Namaste. Hi there, group 2, namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today I'm channeling a message to you from the Pleiades, and you selected the second group with the Blessing Magnet card. Group number 2. The Pleiadians want you to be aware of the fact that they have revealed themselves to someone close to you. There is someone around you who has received a lot of the results or feedback, the ripple effect of your own spiritual journey. You are very well aware that there is a very deep connection to spirit that binds you and something or someone else together. The Pleiadians would like for you to know that, yes, they have revealed themselves to you and to someone else, and that the reason why now is because it had to be now. You understand when you look at the cycle. They would like for you to think about a time. They're showing me a beam of sunlight coming through a window. It's very goldeny. They're showing me light codes, perhaps before you interacted with light codes. Or something very recent, like the setting sun, golden rays. They would like for you to know that you've been an inspiration for many of those around you, and that you do, in fact, hold Pleiadian DNA in your structure. You hold Pleiadian blueprint, Pleiadian vibration in your original soul structure. And for those of you who do not resonate with this yet, you will soon learn it. And for those of you who do resonate with it, the one that they have revealed themselves to will soon be realizing this as well. They will seek answers, and if they come to you, hold them with love. You do not need to bombard them with information that they know they can receive from you, because each one's journey is their own. They would like the sovereignty to be respected. There's a bit of a communication issue in this pile. This is not that you have an issue with communication. It is that sometimes when it comes to topics like these, they can be difficult to mention and they can be heavy. They can be beautiful, but they can be very hyper-individualistic. The Pleiadians would like for you to know that this is something that should have or would have or could have happened a very long time ago. However, this is why it's happening now. This is a blessing for you. Trust that it's coming at the right time. Your auric field is very, very strong at this point in time, so they would like to ask you to be a little more intentional about when you are being electric with your energy and when you are being magnetic with your energy. Just so that you can have a little better control over your aura, but also because you are making a larger impact on the world around you than you might tend to believe. At this point in time, you do have a beautiful blessing on its way. This is something that will come spiritually for you, and it will wash your eyes so that you see something in a new perspective. You will not be able to unsee what it is that you will be shown, similarly to what it is you've experienced in the past. However, this is also not something that you would want to unsee, for it will change the way that you navigate your life. The Pleiadians would like to let you know that you are supported in your endeavors, and also that they are keeping a closer eye on you than you think. Some of you have been thinking about or interacting with CE5 recently, and they would like to let you know if there's a question about the type of light being you have been or will be connecting with, they would like to let you know that they will either be present, have been present, or where they're supporting the experience itself. For those of you who are not aware of what this is yet, it is almost time for you to find out. The Pleiadians are aware that you have experienced some very phenomenal experiences that you do not necessarily feel safe to speak about. However, there are certain things that you have witnessed with others that is a conversation that still has yet to be had. And they would like to let you know that this time is on its way, and that if you don't know what to say, ask for a song in your head. And this will, maybe surprisingly, lead the way. Group number 2, your voice is a powerful conduit. And this is also why it's important that you express the things you need to express and do not when it is not the right time. If you've experienced throat chakra issues throughout your life where it's very open and very closed or very difficult or very easy, you will know that in hindsight, everything happens exactly the way that it is supposed to. Again, trust in the timing. Trust when things are cut off. Trust when things appear. There is no such thing as wrong timing. The Pleiadians also would like to let you know that yes, you do have a blessing on its way. They're aware that you have been waiting for something to spark in your life for a while. You've been waiting for perhaps a spark of inspiration or a spark of energy or just a fire to light up under your feet in general. They would like to let you know that the fire that you seek, it is violet, and you will find it in your crown chakra. This is why you don't see it under your feet. This is also why you are drawn to cold climates. Group number 2, you're going to understand in the future why everything went the way that it did. You have pieces, and then you deepen in evolution, and then other pieces come to light. You're about to have some instances be made clear to you and you're about to have a refreshed perspective. There's something in your life where it's immediately yes, and then of course it's a no, and then obviously it's a yes, and then once more it's a no. It depends on where you are in your stage of evolution. This is something that is in a recycling phase. If you think about something that is recycling energetically, the new skin then becomes the old skin, and the old skin falls off and the new skin continues to shed. So trust that this is a recycling process, and that every time the skin is new, you might feel a yes, and every time that skin gets old, it becomes a no. So while this is occurring, you're about to finally shed the experience of recycling this energy. And when this occurs, you're going to have a perspective that is not yes or no, that is not so nuanced, that is not so black or white, and you're going to finally see the full picture. You're well aware that this is something that you are meant to be a leader on, and you're also well aware that you are the rising sun to an energy on this earth. While this is the case, you watch many who are setting suns, and you wonder, are they ahead or are they behind? Remember that these are simply separated for a reason, and that you don't see any other rising suns, but you do see other setting suns. So as you look around you, remember that all things are beautiful and intentional, but also trust that there is a blessing on its way for you, and that you have not even begun. Remember that if you are called to rest, you should rest. If you are called to love, you should love. If you're called to stay, you should stay. And if you're called to go, you should go. You can go and still love. You can be neutral and still stay. You can have less and still do more, and you can have more and do less. Remember to follow your inner guidance. Remember to love yourself first, and trust, again, in the magic of this song. Trust in the sound healing. Trust in the vibrations of your vocal cords. Trust in your voice. Trust in what it is that is heard around you, whether or not you feel it's irrelevant at the moment. Group number 2, the Pleiadians, want to let you know that, yes, something is coming full circle. Lilies, tulips, and peonies, if you will, might be significant to you at this time, or keep an eye out for them as signs. What you think is a lotus flower is truly a palm tree, and what you think is a palm tree is truly a lotus flower. Do not forget that the way that you navigate life is very pineal. And because of this, you're going to understand that because of your devotion to staying grounded and evolving, you have led the way for those around you that you were surprised or will be surprised have been experiencing benefits from your evolution. This is not a bad thing. When you smile, it causes someone else to smile. When you love, it causes someone else to love. When you laugh, your laugh is contagious. When you evolve, that evolution is contagious. Again, a group experience that you have had will come back around, almost to haunt you. But it's not because that is the intention. It is because someone else has finally remembered or realized what it is that they saw. Remembered or realized what it is that they witnessed. Remembered or realized what it is they needed to. You can only shut out a spiritual truth for so long before it is inevitably going to come back in this life or the next. And the Pleiadians would like to let you know that someone is knocking on your door. They remember. And when they arrive, they will have a gift for you in their hands. This is not some elusive potential that is meant to steer you off your path. Rather, this is part of your greater vision and experience that always has been and always will be. And now that you have a universal perspective, this has caused that spiritual perspective to evolve in the most grounded, tactical, rational areas of your reality. Remember that where your consciousness is, casts a net. There is a high and a low frequency if you are in that paradigm. And the larger your net is cast, the more the things around you will make sense when you connect the dots. Now, the higher that you pull the top of the net, the higher vibrational the lower vibe will be. Now, of course, from a universal perspective, there is no such thing as high and low vibration. However, the Pleiadians would like for you to remember that there is high and low vibration in a third dimension, not beyond, not in your experience of space or in time. But this is also where the fourth dimension is an anomaly, because this also has to do with communication. Telepathic communication, yes. And that is why your voice is important here on this earth. This is why it's important to speak truth here on this earth. This is why truth is such a topic on this earth. Remember at this point in time that your voice can move mountains. You can sing and shatter a glass. You can speak and move a mountain. You can speak your wish into fruition, and that has nothing to do with power. That has everything to do with spiritual perception. And so, the more evolved that you operate, the more evolved, the less evolved things in your reality are. So remember that when someone knocks on your door, it's a blessing and not a curse. And trust at this point in time that you are about to go on one more wild ride that you will never regret going down. Group number 2, that was your channeled message from the Pleiades. I hope this helped shed love, light, and clarity for you. And if you would like a personal channeling session, tarot reading, astrology reading, or Reiki session, you can find all of those on my store in the description box below. I'm on Etsy at Spiritualistic. If you would like more exclusive content, you can follow along on my YouTube Inner Circle membership channel or on my Patreon. If you're interested in more free readings, you can find me, as you know, over on TikTok. And if you want to follow along, you can find me on Instagram, where I just post things that I feel called to post sometimes. I love you. I'm grateful for you. And I'll see you next time. Namaste. Hi there, Group 3. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today I'm channeling a message to you from the Pleiades, and you selected the third group with the Akashic Records card. Group 3, you are no stranger to the Pleiadian collective. They would like to welcome you into their arms and into their vibration, and they're saying you're a little far from home today, aren't you? They would like for you to remember that sometimes art is one of the most beautiful things you have in this life. Not because of skill, but because of what it is that you can leave behind. The story that you have to tell, the emotion that you have to express, and not to forget that your life is your story. Remember that the path under your feet is the correct one. And they also would like to remind you that sometimes all you need is a little bit of sunshine in order to get things flowing in your life. The Pleiadians would like to remind you that you and them are a family in some way, shape, or form, and they also would like for you to take a good long look at yourself in the mirror, right in your eyes, and allow yourself to see and be shown all that you've been before. You will not be surprised with what you see, but you will also understand that at one point in time, some of the energies that resonate with you may have surprised you. Allow yourself to brush off on some of the things that you have experienced in this life and in others, so that at this point in time, you can send love to the energies that, well, need it. There's a reason why you chose to string certain energies together in your soul's journey. And this is because you are a master of love. It's because you are a master of transmutation, of healing, of love, of divine connection. And so everywhere you go, you sow the seeds of love. And so you may have woven together a few very interesting and unique intergalactic, interdimensional, or inter-realm energies in your soul's journey. It doesn't matter how many times you've been around the Earth block, 0, 1, 1,000,000, 50. Either way, you'll be recognized by that which has experienced you before. And with this being the case, it is also a beautiful thing to remember that time really only exists to your perspective, meaning that anywhere you've ever been, you still are. And so if you would like to send some of your focus elsewhere, you are more than welcome to experience that. And if you would like to draw all of your focus, even from other places that you've been, other energies that you have experienced yourself within, other places, other dimensions, other timelines, you can draw that energy into you as well. Take a deep breath in and allow yourself to bring all of your energies across all of the space-time continuum and dimensions into your body, into your reality. And take a deep breath out and truly, truly feel present in all places at once. Remember that your unique soul's blueprint is important, and it also tells a story. It tells a similar story to that of your life, but in a more fun and specified way. Remember that who you are today is just as important as who you've been or who you will be, and also that everything is part of the same one being. So, as this is the case, just because you are one thread of a very big blanket does not mean that your thread is not important. Your thread has a story, and it also tells the story of the whole blanket. What is micro is macro, and macro is micro. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, no matter how you feel or what you believe, you will always carry with you all of the places you've been before and all of the places you will be in the future. There is nothing that is still being written. There is nothing that was written before. Remember that at this point in time, the Pleiadians would like for you to continue to follow what it is that you know internally. And while you might have to put things in a chronological order for you to understand them, for you to make sense of them, using your tangible rational brain to ground them into your physical reality, there is absolutely no problem with this, but remember that it always gets bigger. It always gets more expensive. There never was a before, there never will be an after. Remember that your journey here is only an illusion of being finite. You are an infinite being. It is not just your soul that is infinite, it is literally you that is. And the Pleiadians would like for you to know, group number 3, that you have done this before and you will do it again, because if you've done it once, you are always doing it and you always have. And so with that being the case, allow yourself to take some of the pressure off your regular life. The red string of fate is one that you are familiar with, or it's one that has led you a very interesting, unique path throughout your life and many other lifetimes. Do not forget the uniqueness of your individual soul's blueprint, not just your human person today. And remember that they do parallel each other, but that sometimes you understand the micro by looking at the macro, and vice versa as well. There seems to be something that's a bit crooked right now, and you feel as though something might fall. But trust that it is just a little bit of adjusting that will put something back in its place. It actually seems as though you are holding up luck for yourself or others, or it seems as though you are very much aware that your individuality, your magic, it can sometimes be a burden to the beauty of this life. And this is not because it cannot be part of the beauty of this life. It sometimes might be the case that you see magic everywhere you go and others around you do not. It can be something so simple or something as bleak. It doesn't matter. It's your perspective. It matters and it doesn't matter. I'll leave that one neutralized for you. But the Pleiadians would like for you to know that you are, of course, a stroke of luck. And remember that it is when you detach from something that it manifests. So when you are seeing magic and around you there is no magic and you are thinking, wow, the things around me don't see and understand this magic, when you release it, there is that new breath. It is after the exhale and the space that there is the new inhale, and then a space. So do not negate the space in between, and do not forget that you must exhale in order to inhale. And allow yourself to take that little, I'm hearing falling star, and put it in your pocket. Because group number 3, where you have been, is somewhere that others would love to hear about. And as much as you feel as though it's past is past, where you are now is where you are, it's important to integrate your pieces so you can grow and evolve and come back into oneness. It's beautiful. And even after you inhale, you then must exhale. And you can navigate from the perspective of the space in between. But still, you see a moon that waxes and wanes. And you can see it on a particular day and it will be full. You can see it on a particular day and it will be almost new. However, it is your perspective. It is your ability to see the cycles of the moon, your ability to see where it is that you've been, that sets you apart. It's your ability to see outside of this. It's your ability to see why you see the moon. It's your ability to understand things from a heliocentric perspective. Not an earth-centric perspective. That is what sets you apart. It is your ability to see everywhere that you've been and everywhere that you will be in the fabric of the time and space from an external perspective, from that space between the breath. And the Pleiadians would like for you, group number 3, to allow yourself, without being wrapped up in the individual places that you have been or will be, or other lifetimes and things like this. They would like you, without getting wrapped up into it, to see it again, but see it from that outside perspective, so that you can see and complete that bigger chapter, that bigger image. Don't forget that your blueprint, your story, it is special, it is important, and it is unique. And the Pleiadians also would like for you to remember that the stories that you've collected along the way, they are yours and yours alone. Inherently, only you can be you, no matter which lifetime you seek. And with that being the case, remember that you have many stories to tell. It would be a shame if they didn't get heard. So remember to breathe and trust that you're doing a lot better than you think. It's almost time to act on something that you have been a bit defensive about. And while you are very well aware of the fact that acting through this life is partaking in the matrix, whether it be spiritually or physically, the Pleiadians would like for you to know as well that it is not for you to not engage with the physical reality around you. It is for you to not be wrapped up in the physical reality around you. Your body is your smallest part of your being, and so this life should have the smallest bit of your attention. However, you should still function in it successfully. So, the Pleiadians would like to again offer you this practice. Draw all of your energy in to your being right now in this dimension, in this timeline, in this reality, in this realm, in your body. And also, expand it out to all of them. Every dimension, every timeline, every lifetime, past, present, future, parallel, infinite. And allow yourself to experience and witness all at once from the macro of you, of your thread, and of the micro of you. You zoom out to source and back into your body, and they would like to offer you a middle ground. Not because you are doing anything wrong, and certainly not because you should not evolve to source, but rather because they would like for you to appreciate the nuance of your individual blueprint. Because it is something that, if it's kept a secret to you, only you will be able to appreciate. So, allow yourself to open up your records for you, by yourself. And you won't be surprised who you meet, you won't be surprised where you go, but you maybe will allow yourself to see a new perspective that will actually help you close out the chapter that you've been trying to close out on your way to source in this physical reality. You don't need to take one big bite all at once all the time. Sometimes you can cut it up into smaller bites. You don't have to skip 3 stairs just because you have long legs. You can go up every single individual one. You don't have to do things the hardest, the biggest, the best, the strongest every time you do something. But you have. This is what you'll continue to see. And so, open up your records for you. Connect with your heart and fill your lungs up with breath. Breathe into the lungs, or whatever equates to lungs, in all beings that you've ever been and ever will be. Fill up all of those lungs and breathe in and out of all of them. And then draw the focus, attention, and energy back into yours. Let your cells breathe. They remember so much. And they are kept in your human body box, which they have chosen, and it's beautiful. But just like it feels good to stretch after a long day, or yawn when you're really tired. Let your cells do the same. You deserve it, they deserve it, and there's a little surprise for you, waiting for you to yawn into it. Okay, group number 3, that is your channeled message from the Pleiadians. I hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity for you, and as always, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful magical realm. If you're interested in a personal channeling session or tarot, astrology reading, Reiki session, etc. with me, you can find that on my store in the description box below. As always, I love you, I'm grateful for you, and I will see you next time. Namaste.